The video you're gonna watch was sort of a scathing review I recorded earlier, but I wanted to add this sort of appendix addendum to it right at the beginning because this was recorded before the full moonshot, whatever, what have you thing, program takeover, whatever you want to call it, and all this stuff. And I firmly believe in criticizing when they need to be and giving praise when they need to be. However, that doesn't change the criticism in this video. But I would be abhorrent if I didn't mention what they did here. And we'll switch screens here in a second, but I do just want to say, like, if you do watch the rest of this thing, 'cause this is going to be damn near an hour long, hey, thanks, appreciate it. It's more so just me sort of breaking down everything and what I think needs to be doing. And the crux of it kind of was addressed with this giant drop, but me personally, I need to see more to really sort of say, like, we're moving in the right direction. So let's take a look at everything and kind of sort of work in the theory, the thesis of what I was talking about last week. So this is all of it. This is the big guy you get with 41 cards, a Cedric Mullins. He's really what I would kind of want to see from something like this. Look, he can hit. Granted, I think these are more like home run derby cards where the defense and speed, like you see here, his speed's a little bit lesser, but the offense is going to carry this card. Granted, I think they should give more reaction, but again, not here nor there for a card like this, because this is probably the worst on one hand, really great offensively, but the worst defensive Byron Buxton we've probably ever seen. However, it doesn't take away from this card can do offensively. Like the collection, like Delgado here, I think the Delgado is fantastic. Not gonna lie, fantastic. The two Diamond Quest cards, again, fantastic. Again, Cedric, fantastic. Wow, Prince Fielder doesn't actually have the defense. Here's Harrison Bader, fantastic. Free, these two are free to get just by grinding. This Tony Gwynn with Pop, mini seasons grind, free to get, good card. Again, we can handle it because honestly, a fast Tony Gwynn's a little weird for me because Tony Gwynn was, you see, 200-pound fella. Cedric Mullins, the chase card, again, decent card. I mean, he's expensive as all hell. Yasmani, again, really good, really balanced. I mean, heck, even like these cards, not those, like starting with like the Zach Neto and Cole Keith, like that's a decent pull. He's cheap. He could play second base for you right now. Joseph Ortiz could play shortstop for you right now. He might be a little bit weaker on the offensive side, but again, not too shabby for 3K. Zach Neto, offensively, pretty decent, max contact. Wish, again, defense is a little better because he's a decent defensively shortstop, but hey, again, none of these cards here are that bad. You get the platoon guy, like Andy Paez here. Matt, kind of like, Neto was. Jose Siri, speedy, power, like, he can play center field for you budget. The mini seasons cards, again, he can probably play shortstop for you. Josh Smith can be a sneaky little third baseman for you. Michael Bush, sneaky first baseman. Totally free cards. Mind you, I bought one card. I bought Zach Neto because I'm an Angel Homer. All the other cards I got were free. Mind you, I'm not finished with the program yet. So like this Luis Arias card, first baseman, totally adequate to play first base. This is what the crux of the video is talking about. There's nothing wrong with making good free-to-play cards. Good free-to-play cards make the game better. I mean, you win mini seasons, you get this Jesse Winker who can absolutely donkey shit on righties. And you know what? He has the pinch hitter perk. There were years where, I kid you not, Jesse Winker cards would come off the bench, hit a home run, and that's it late in games. If this guy can do it against a righty, I'm all for it. Jesse, I want to fight every angel in the dugout. Winker can hit home runs. Big dinger Winker might be back. Just saying. I mean, Jason Deombi, again, he's kind of expensive, but hey, like there's plenty of good here, right? This Jeimer Candelario is hitting better than a real Jeimer Candelario, and he's an expensive lad out of the pack. Same thing with this Bo Bichette. He's an expensive lad out of the pack as well. I mean, heck, have you seen an 80-70 powered Lou Brock? He's kind of cheap. Doesn't have necessarily the speed, but again, we're having fun here. And mind you, even Ryan Roberts, who has a really good swing, got a little bit of a juicy card here. He can play second base for you. This is my point. The crux of the video you're about to watch is essentially this. No one in their right mind is going to play when good cards are free. Free to play cards are good versus kind of what we have been getting. And the biggest discrepancy that I even bring up here, and I know a lot of people have brought up here, have been when it comes to the rolling, we talked about this guy right here. He's sort of exhibit A for this whole situation. Is it a problem that this card was as good as it was? No. It just felt kind of uninspired with what was going on around it. I kind of bring that up. And there's a lot of other stuff I bring up in this video. It's a long one. I'm making it longer, but I wanted to add to this. And I also just wanted to point out too here, because this is, I think, part of the problem here. When we look at live series, if we go to live series, I just want to bring this point up. Tatis is almost at 500,000. Fernando's over 500,000. I did pull two Tatises. I like the first one, sold the other one. But I'm just making this point here that in terms of where I'm at for a live series, I am basically the expensive boys away, and the Dodgers at this point, from getting it done. And these two cards are going to tell even Witt and Soto. I guess I could not necessarily Soto, because I could buy Soto if I waited and sold after the roster update. But my point here is that we're in an interesting situation, and this is something I'm going to monitor. And if we have to talk about it again, hey, we'll talk about it again, because we're reaching the point where two cards are over 1 million stubs. And mind you, I've said this before, that Aaron Judge is pretty much on par with some legends right now. And I think this is going to be an issue. I think the Ohtani pricing is going to be an issue. It's going to be less of an issue in terms of offensive. But I do think these two guys are going to become problems that are going to have to be addressed. And I don't know how to fix it. I even said in the video later on, I don't know how to fix it. Do they reset rates to make this interesting? I was watching somebody earlier who made the interesting point that there might be more people playing than have Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it was an interesting point because they did pull it off of Game Pass. And I'm sure Game Pass having more people helped this. They also pulled it off of previous gen consoles, so it's not on your Xbox One, it's not on your PS4, it's strictly PS5, Xbox Series X and S. That's it. So I don't know how much of the player base is on those, but as of now, this is a huge gatekeeping problem that I think they're going to have to address, or they're gonna have to kind of ramp up the power creep, because right now where power creep is, we're sort of sitting where these cards are, and as you can tell, most people are leaning towards, hey, I can spend this many stubs, essentially get more for 400,000 stubs versus collecting a card and getting it, because I made the comment in the other video, he's on par with the best cards in the game. Aaron Judge for 4,000 stubs. He might be better than some, but I digress. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let my past self sort of talk here. It's a long video. I made it longer. It's probably pushing an hour. There's a lot of information in there. But to summarize, it's basically just breaking down everything. The crux of it is, hey, free to play cards should be good. So if you watch the rest of it, hey, I appreciate it. If you stop here, hey, cool. You got the crux of the matter. Thanks so much. I will be back later in the week, hopefully less annoyed. But I'll leave it over to my future past self. Nevertheless, enjoy this entirely long, very winded rant, and I'll see you guys all later. This video right here is basically an open letter, I suppose, to anyone at SDS, any of their partners, anyone who clicked on this, because I want to send basically a message out, and that's a deeper conversation on the last video. If you haven't watched it, I'll try to put it up here if I remember to do it in post. But basically, it's the whole where are we kind of scenario and how it looks. And I'm going to sort of go as point by point as I can to show the problem, offer a solution, and kind of continue that trend downward, because apparently we can't just be crying wolf according to somebody else, because it's not going to go through. So I'm just going to lay it out there as an open letter as I possibly can. Describe every issue that I think the more common player is probably going to continue to have here, book by book, page by page, and hopefully offer more solutions than problems. Sound good? All right. Let me start off by saying this. My name is Specs. I've been playing DD for about 5 years since COVID. I've been a content creator basically for 4 going on 5 years. Totally playing this game basically free to play for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years for the most part. So when it comes to understanding the working common man, I think I do pretty effing good at trying to do that. Am I going to at every point? Am I going to have everyone agree with me? Absolutely not. But what I'm going to try to do is emphasize points that I hear from bigger creators who offer critiques, but I don't feel like want to go that far because of probably professional reasons. And for that, I totally understand. People who work with the company and in a professional manner, I understand. I have been there. I understand what it's like when you're trying to have a relationship with them and try to offer them what your community has, because that's the only reference point you have is people who want to talk about it and offer a solution. I totally understand. However, I think sometimes in those instances, the only people talking are the crazy psychopaths, probably like you and I, who play this game way too goddamn much compared to somebody else who might not. Now, for the record, I'm going to show you my hours played. This is probably not accurate. I have left this game on before. I am a psychopath as well. I have 217 logged hours. I will admit it's probably closer to 190. I have left this thing on a few times when I'll take breaks, because there are times where I blow my brains out. I'll leave it on pause and I don't come back for a while. My PlayStation has gone to rest mode plenty of times, so take that number with a grain of salt. That am I a psychopath? Yes, I will be the first to admit, like, the amount of hours I play. However, I play plenty of other stuff as well. I got 100 hours, over 100 hours in Persona. I've been playing Oblivion. Name it, I probably got some time into it. So when you see that number, please remember it's probably not nearly as that. However, I will admit I do try to play every program and everything else, but again, I leave my PlayStation on. This is the game I'm usually on. I don't close it. I probably should. Would probably lower the number. But that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna go down essentially everything here and explain the best way I think I can and offer a solution. Let's start with, we'll just go down the list here. Let's start with the main program here. So let's go to, let's go to programs. Talk about the XP reward path. XP reward path, I think overall, it's probably fine. Cornerstones are okay. I know people were, I don't want to say don't know how to use Jim Palmer. Is Jim Palmer the best card out there? No. Do I think people really get too attached to certain pitch combos? Yes. Do I think a sinker changeup's very good? Yeah, it is. It is very good, but a lot of people don't want to use it. I think this card's okay-ish. Should he be used in every other play? No, probably not. He's probably fine. Justin Turner, I don't know what this whole update was this week. His diamond card we'll show once we get to the things in a second. It's a lefty killer. This card I think too is very good in terms of BR. He's pretty balanced. Could be a lot worse. Very good DH. His clutch is very, very good. Not too shabby. Ralph Kiner's a little bit weaker. This is sort of what we expect. High power, kind of middling contact. His clutch is very okay. Again, probably would work in BR. His power you probably wish was a little bit higher, but hey, again, it is what it is for these cornerstones. And you get one back. The one thing I've talked about for many years is these I call them fluffer packs. These packs serve no purpose other than they're just rewards to get. Like right here, you get one choice, you get one regular pack, you get one ball-in pack, you get one random headliner. Dare I say they're spoiling us? What would I like here? I don't know. A 5 bundle, a 10 bundle, a 5 bundle, 2 of these. I don't know. Again, fluff, another fluff, the last cornerstone. Fluff, stubs, woo, aren't they generous? deluxe packs. I want to talk about the deluxe packs. So when it comes to deluxe packs, I think these should be choice packs. Lower here on the list, totally fine. I think they could give out more cards. I think if they want to give out deluxe packs, make them down here. This should be the only one that's random. I think this Matt Cain is gonna get his teeth kicked in when it comes to online play. But I think they could do more than one card right here. They could do one here instead of one of these fluff packs. Let's say right here, we put another one. I don't know who it could be. Let's say, I don't know. Let's throw in, let's do a hitter. Let's say a flashback. Let's say a 90-something Joe Mauer. Throw that in there. Joe Mauer. He could be right there. And then more fluff packs. Your first boss. More fluff packs. More fluff packs. Again, you could do something else. Here, this is on the back end. Why not have another card? Instead of this, have a card. I think this should be a premium random. And this should be a premium choice. That's just me. And then the wheel can be whatever the hell it wants to be. The wheel is, I think, ridiculous a little bit too. But that's here nor there. I think the back end needs to be better because I don't think anyone's going to want to be playing this for almost 500,000 stubs and get a threats pack or a pipeline pack with a gold. I know, wild take, but I don't think people are going to want to do that. I could be wrong. Maybe they do. Who knows? I think a choice pack here because they would probably get an eggs or a thread pack. They don't have those cards. And let them get a diamond. Who cares? Give them a free diamond. What's the matter? None of these cards are that expensive anymore. So that's that. I would say throw in 2 more henchmen for free, just for why not? Because who cares? Make this more exciting than just this random fluff, and they're all singles too. Oh, this one's 2. This one's 2. Like you could throw in a couple of 5 or 10 pack bundles. Live series are overly expensive still too. And the bosses, for the record, I think the bosses could have been done better. I sort of mentioned that in the other video. 2 lefty killers, I think, is very rough. If anything, I would flip this. I know maybe Bernie's historically better against lefties and righties. It's a video game. I would say do something to make not have basically mirror images of each other. I mean, I guess hypothetically speaking, we can say Trevor Story might be a better card because his righty splits are a little more balanced. But clearly, they do this on purpose. I don't know if it's just because they think they want someone to take Story, and historically Story has had these cards. I don't know. The only one that looks decent is this guy is going to be Eric Gagne. He's probably the best boss card. These 2, I think you could take early. Pick one. It's really not going to matter. Don't buy them. Don't pay $45 for them. They're kind of mediocre to say the least. Now jumping over to other stuff in the program. Let's start with the assorted programs. This just dropped today. This card I think is very middling okay. They could have done him a little better. I think he should have had closer to 95 power than 90. They could drop the dirt. They know how to make good cards. Willie Castro proves that they know how to. I'm not saying this card has to be on the board, but if you want to give him a little bit more oomph, it's fine. I just don't understand this weird logic of free-to-play cards can't be good free-to-play cards. No one's going to whine if the free-to-play cards are good. On that token, I think Hunter Brown could be sneaky good. He's got the cutter. People are whining. He doesn't have a sinker. Boo-hoo. I can't throw him online. Learn to throw a 2-seamer. I think he's going to be adequate. Is he going to get rocked on high difficulties? Probably, because all he throws is hard stuff. His 4-seam, 2-seamer, and cutter are basically the same speed. His only off speed is the circle change to the 88 and a knuckle curve to 83. Is that going to differentiate enough? It might. You might have to pitch a little smarter. You can't just auto play. So I'm sure people have problems with that. Overall, the packs in the program and the XP, you get 5,000, 9,000, 12, 14, 1500 XP. Could be better, could be worse. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs. Aren't they generous? And the only way to get it, the easiest way to get it, is to do all the missions. There is a conquest map that does give you a premium pack, or a premium pack, I think. So you should knock that out to get the free pack. Player programs, we talked about this previously. Jim Palmer, I think people just want to one complain about because they see knuckle curve and they get scared. Sinker changeup is a very good combination. Why? They break. Similarly, they break down and away. Use that to your advantage if you don't already. It's a very smart kind of like, ooh, sort of thing. And the slider breaks away. So you can kind of mask it. It's just you have to learn how to do it, and a lot of people don't want to. Am I saying Jim Palmer is the bestest card in the world? No, he's probably very average, below average. But you can make it work. You just got to think outside the box. Going on to like Justin Turner here. Is the Justin Turner diamond pretty good? It's not bad. I think there's this weird thing with lefty killers. Are they afraid? Are there lefties running about? I guess there are with Donaldson. Is he a counter? I sure. I suppose so. He's decent. I like Justin Turner's swing despite his giant ass leg kick. So he's nifty. And then Ralph Kiner. Ralph Kiner, we all know Ralphie boy's gonna be big power. Not the best power for him, but we'll probably see a better one as the year goes on. But he's got plus 100 power. His clutch is gonna remain about, his contact will remain about the same because of his clutch. So again, this I think overall is a win. It's a big Dubsky theme programs. Again, I would probably say a dub as well. At least in these, they give you like a pack to go with it. Like here, the added deluxe egg pack could have been a lot effing worse. So I think here they kind of do a decent enough job on that. We'll say Spotlight for last. My Legacy, oh, well, I can't really complain about it. Spotlight, this is where the contention is going to be because this is where I'm going to kind of rip them a new one. This is the biggest scam I have ever seen and ever witnessed in a game. And mind you, for context, I played WoW. I played WoW back in the days when it was brutal. This right here has to be the biggest pile of dog shit they have ever released. Why? This is the vinyl card. Jesus Christ. He led the Rangers in home runs and an over 1,000 OPS. Was he hurt? Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what I would do? Why don't you drop the durability and raise the power a little bit? Give him a little bit more. Because this right here, uneffing usable. He can field, sure. He's probably the best defensive left fielder, but you ain't gonna see a lot of Wyatt Langfords out there. Willing to bet you. You know what's better? This guy is better. This is comical. Yeah, he's a better fielder, but my God, you highlight his offense and you cut his legs off. 5 home runs equals 88 power left and 70 right. Sweet Mother Mary. What do you guys watch games? I have to ask, do you watch and play games? Truthfully, does the live team look at this and say, yeah, that's what we want? Good job, Terrence. Good job, Shelly. Good work. I don't know what they're looking at that over there. You know what? We'll do some investigative reporting here. What is Wyatt Langford's baseball savant? I'm curious here. I'm kind of curious. What is it against left? What is it against handedness? Because there's a lot of red. What's his hand? Can I go splits? Let's see. Is his right better be something? Okay. So he does have, okay, it is kind of what I thought. So in terms of the averages here, let me pull it up here as well really quick. Hang on. We're doing it live, baby. Bam. Because I don't think I have it. Oh, I did have it. Okay, let me turn it on. Wyatt Langford's baseball savant. I don't know if we can see it. There you go. Splits. Okay, these are his splits against righties and lefties. 40 against hilariously, it's reversed. Hilariously, left, he's got 2 home runs against. This is this year. He's got a 222 average, a 378 on base, a 417 slugging, and an on base plus slugging of 795 against righties, or against lefties. Against righties, 267. Fucker's got 6 home runs against them with 15 RBIs, 267, 327, 522, 849. This does not translate. And this year, in May, Yeah, he had the 5 home runs. This is absolutely correct. Slugging was 655. Average was 310. His on base plus slugging was 397. How in God's green earth did we end up with this? You didn't even get the splits right. He has more home runs and more plate appearance. He has 90 at bats to 36. What numbers are we extrapolating here? I don't understand this. These numbers don't add up, like flat out. Whoever did this tried to do inverse splits and did it wrong, because it should be this month. And hell, even if you want to say like, oh, it went down a ton, clearly, let's just say hypothetically it was 5 and 3, which it probably was. He's better against righties than lefties, so I don't quite follow what the thing was when everything there is basically saying on Savant that it's wrong, which is flabbergasting. But in short, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Absolute the worst thing ever. The thing they could have done, because we want to offer solutions. Here's what I would have offered here. First off, let's go to this. Let's continue this thing down the back. This right here is the biggest absolute money grab I've ever seen in a game. And again, this is coming from a WoW player who saw guys buying a $90 amount. This right here is an absolute money scam. A pit. You might as well take your stubs and light them on fire. The only way to get these cards is through the market. You get 1 pack to get them. I packed 1 card. You saw me. It was Andres Munoz, and I sold that SOB for 60K. Because I knew I ain't getting the rest of them. I sold them. The bright side is, I guess if you're a free-to-play player, you know that you're going to get some stubs out of it. These cards have not wavered in price whatsoever. They have still hovered a ridiculously high. Even the first one, an 88 Bubik, is 31K. I don't know who thought this was a great idea. I couldn't tell you. I think they just wanted to see if they could get money, and clearly they got enough from some people. I don't know what the percentage is, but I hope it's less than 1% did this, because by far this is the biggest shameless money grab I've ever seen out of a company. And I know people wanted to shy away from it. This is a straight up predatory practice. This is a straight up shakedown. This is not a good look at all. There's no way to defend this. If you want to say, hey, leave 1 premium collection, then let us go rolling. Because these cards I do not see going down unless they start throwing them out there and just be like, hey, they're 89s, you can go get them, because they're not going to be useful anymore. And truth be told, when it comes to Suarez, he could have been in the other program is like, collect Wyatt Langford, you get Eugenio Suarez for free. I don't know. That was I think that program was grindy enough. They could have thrown him in there if you did something. Truthfully, same thing with Santana. I don't think there was necessarily a reason to sort of do what they did. His durability is kind of high. He hits lefties really well, but he's a decent card and probably the best catcher at this moment. Do I want them for free? No. Do I think you should have the option to work for him and grind for him? Hell yes. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with letting people get cards. BR cards, for the most part, until you threw them in the program, were kind of somewhat locked anyway. Why is this one these are just downright money grabs? If you got these, it probably means you paid an absurd amount of money to get them. Because you needed, they dropped 5 on the last pack to here, right? I think Pavin Smith was the last one. These guys were the last pack up to Pavin Smith. And mind you, these 2 were rare, like the ultra rare rounds, and these 2 were like regular or mid rounds, and then there was a common round, which were tops now. I don't know who, like I said, I'm trying not to just complain, but I'm going to say this. To me, the easy solution was a program that was just called April Lightning. A separate program that kind of just took these and slammed them together. Like to get Corbin Carroll, instead of being a collection, should have just been a separate program, where if you completed all this, you get a little head start. And then you get a couple more of these. Like, they could have thrown been like, hey, we'll give you I don't know, maybe say like, hey, we'll give you another pack and it's guaranteed one of these. And they give you 5. And they say like, hey, you get 5, then you can get Suarez. It's 5 and 10 instead of 10 and 13. I don't know. Make it feel a little bit easier so that if you just get grinding or something, you can get them. Hell, make it 6 or 7, 7 and 13. I don't know. Just make it a little bit more feasible. Make it so that this stuff right here feels conclusive and not, hey, did you do your homework assignments? Because if you did, you can get this Corbin Carroll that's slightly above average. Like, that's all you have to do. And if someone wants to say, well, you're just whining, I'm offering the solution. April Lightning program, May Lightning program, not collect 10 of those SOBs and get it. I mean, hell, this Kyle Stowers isn't even that great. I don't know what's going on over there, but whoever's designing this isn't doing a good job, and I hope that people still harp on it. The Scott Rowland side of things, I don't think this is necessarily as big of a deal as people want to make it out to be. My reasoning is I think none of this stuff is necessarily out of sight. You see, here's where I'm at. I'm missing literally 3 things. So I should be realistically, if I have the Akon, actually 4, the 4 done, I would be at what, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'd be at 16 and 18. I'd be in great standing and basically done without putting money into it and just doing basically everything like I should. He's not unattainable for free. If that notion is out there, it's not true. He's very much free to play attainable. It might take you a minute, but he's only been out for what, a month? And if you're playing somewhat regularly, you're more than likely probably where I'm at, if not a little bit further away, depending. Like, none of this stuff is, I would say, out of it. I know Standout for the longest time felt like it was way out of there. But again, not really doing too much. Playing a Conquest, a mini season, a boss. I completed the West because of what I pulled last week. I have Don Baylor. You don't even need Don Baylor. You could literally, like Palmero, you can just, by playing, you get Harold Baines. You could buy. He's 15. If you wanted to wait, you could. You could collect Trevor Story if you really wanted to. Hell, you might get lucky and pack the Yankees and get him done. I mean, Luis Rengifo is a little expensive, but if you play BR and go 10-0, you can get him. World Series reward you could get. I mean, this for me will be done when I get Rafael Palmeiro. That's done. Spotlight, shove off. Second half heroes, I think, is only 4 away. Pudge is dirt cheap, so he's there. J-Roll is going to come down in price for sure. Don Sutton's affordable. Randall is a little expensive. Brian Sandberg will come down in price, and Chase Utley's collection. So realistically, and he's Diamondback. So if you just walk into a Marte, you could probably get him. So more again, they're doable. All-Star might be the most sort of slightly obnoxious one. Jeter's gonna has come up in price. He's still pretty cheap. Robin Yout's cheap. He's a chase card. He's gone up for whatever reason. I don't know why. Kerry Wood's fairly cheap. He's still in cheap-ish range. Carlos is now cheap. Kluber's now cheap, if you don't believe me. He's free. I think he's still up there. But for the most part, I think you'll probably just get him by doing stuff. He's going to be available here shortly. Martinez is a World Series reward, I believe. He's cheap, boss. He's going to come down in price. So waiting will probably lead you to that as well. And then these 4, if you just finish them, you'll do. So all that to say, I think this is doable free to play. It's always been doable. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And it's a matter of, are you willing to wait the time to do it? That's totally fine. Okay, last but not least, sweet mother of mercy, let's talk about the live series collections and what an unholy mega hell did we unleash today. As we're recording this is occurring. He's now we now have 2 cards that are probably going to hit 500,000 stubs. Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. By God. They are combined over 1 million stubs. There was a flash sale, so this might have recovered, but unholy mitigated hell. What is going on here? Well, I think there's 2 things that we can sort of put here, and I don't really have a solution for this. I think this is the one where there's probably not one. It's twofold, and it's gonna sound really odd. One, they changed the pack odds. So if we look to opening packs here, oh wait, can I pack odds? So it's 1 in 50 for an 85 plus. However, I think somebody said they rearranged it. So what happened prior was, if I recall correctly, last year, the way the cards were this first level of diamond was 85 to what, 87, 88, I think it was. Like, was the first level. Now it's to 87. So 88s and higher are now blue. So what ended up happening because of that, and mind you, he would have been blue to begin with, there are now more, well, there are more of these higher cards. I pulled him twice, sold him for a fortune. But the point is that these higher end cards, he's a 92 now. What the fuck? These higher end diamonds like Cattell, who normally would be that first tier, are now artificially inflated to be higher because of how they readjusted the scale. And a lot of people have said, well, why don't you just raise the odds? You can't raise the odds because right now we're still in the play where these live series are still viable. Whereas before, they probably weren't as viable as before. And at least at the end, there was somewhat of a buying spree. Now, there isn't one. So these, what were last year sort of that first tier diamonds and not the second tier, are now second tier, and they're not being pulled as much. So Cattell's not being pulled as much. Paul Skeens isn't being pulled as much. Another Kyle Tucker, he probably, well, he's an 87. He's not being pulled as much, but he's in the 30s. Bryce Harper, not being pulled as much, but he's still in the 30s. Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor. You see that there. Ronnie sort of, see, everything under like 87, 88 is kind of cheap. He was cheap because he was a gold. 87 because he was a lower dime, he was a gold. He's still expensive because if he's an 89. I mean, Trout's over 100. Yeah, you get my point. you see what I'm getting at here? But like somebody like a Bobby Witt, he's also really expensive. And there's more expensive cards than there have been, and trying to save for these guys is kind of difficult because you're saving a ton of stubs. What's the solution here? I don't want to say raise pack odds because I think that's kind of dumb. I think 1 in 50 is fine. It's a 1 in 50 shot isn't that hard. That is like a 5% chance. And for the most part, granted, if you save for 50, you're not necessarily going to pull a diamond, but it makes you mentally feel better that you are. And you are. I mean, the only real solution I can garner would be grinding and flipping and trying to do that like I did. Granted, I didn't invest that much. I would just pull cards, and if I thought they were going to go diamond, I would hold and then sell. That's how I got a ton of stubs. You can do the same thing. And that the other thing, I can suggest this. I think this mode right here, and this ties into it, is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because these things never go away, and they're just stub. They can just be stub coupons, which is great. However, I think the flip side of this is now, to some people, this is an infinite money pool. And you might be thinking, well, what do you mean by that? Well, you can just sell these for a lot of stubs. They're basically, I always talk about the 10K Kick-It voucher at the end of the year when they start giving out those packs that are all high sell diamonds, and usually their sell now price is about 10K. So if you pull a bunch of them, you collect them all, you're just getting 10K coupons basically. That's essentially what these are. And the really good players who have time will just grind this stuff. I hear it all the time. They grind it and they just sell them. They grind it and they sell them. They'll tell you it takes like an hour to get it, and you get a couple K stubs. I don't know what these guys are necessarily going for. But they'll play on GOAT where they have a 70% chance. If they just want to beeline it, they'll do it with speed. Let's see, actually, let me go back to collect. I just want to see what are they? So that one was a standout. What is Ottavino going for? Like, Ottavino's 13K. And I think Jung. What was Josh? Josh is a 90. Oh, he's postseason. Sorry. He's a postseason. Josh Jung is currently 9. So if you sold them both, you're getting 23K stubs an hour run. And if you do that all afternoon on Saturday, 4 runs gives you 100K stubs because if you successfully do them both. Now, is that a solution? It's the best solution. A better solution, I think, I don't even know what it is. I can't say like, hey, give out more packs. I guess you can give out double boosted rate packs every so often and try to mitigate the problem, but they're not seeing it as a problem, I don't think. And when it comes to Diamond Quest 2, I think Diamond Quest in general is overall a good idea. But I do think when it comes to guys who are going to benefit, it's kind of similar to BR, where it's like, if you're good, you can just go in and just play on GOAT and not have to deal with all the other crap. You're going to get it. However, the reward's worth the risk playing the sweeper and stuff. And plus, you're going to get 23, 24K steps, which is very good at this point. So overall, there's most of it, I suppose. The mode's not bad. I didn't touch Weekend League. It didn't intrigue me. The cards didn't do anything to me. I don't know if it was any better than it was last time. I went to Diamond Quest again. The only thing I will say about this, and I hope this gets rectified to a certain degree, is reward distribution for guys, for the average player in Bronze 2, between here and I would say Bronze 2 and Silver 2, probably Bronze 2 and Silver 1. I kind of wish things wouldn't be fixated on wins in a row, but on wins overall. And the reason why I say that is we give people an extended reason to play. And I don't think I think 3-inning or 6-inning games would benefit this more because of what you see at the bottom. Climb the ladder for a top 10 finish. The fact that there is a ladder means you want players to play more than 6 games. However, if you are going to say, hey, it's based on your 6 things, here's the whole thing. Wins give you the most wins will give you the most stuff. And then everything additional is fine. When it comes to Weekend League, because there is a leaderboard, cumulative wins to me make more sense than consecutive wins in your first 6. If your first 6 are qualifier, that's totally valid. That kind of makes sense. And then it's just sort of said, hey, here's your base points. Now you can do this. However, I think if you want them to play 6 games, 6 and 9, that's 56 innings. No, 42 innings. Jesus. Wait. 54 innings. God damn. 54 innings is a lot to play. That is a hell of a commitment over a sorted amount of time. I think I would say 6 games, it's 36 innings if you want to go that route. And the reason why I say that, I think the only reason why they're doing 9 is because of like Sunburst Classic is 9 innings. Is it Sunburst Classic? Sunburst Classic might be 9 full innings, but it feels like those games go by way faster. Maybe make it 6, but I think the biggest thing would be this through 6 innings thing, and the lower it is, like you have to go 6-0. And I don't know how many guys down here even hit that mark. I don't know how really to fix it. I would just say cumulative, because then it's least grindable. It's not grindable here because one loss, those people are gonna be done, which is rough in my opinion. And I don't think the cards have so far been worth it. I know they tout the packs and stuff, and I even said, damn, those packs are great, which I would love to see fall to the common player. But right now, I would say it's kind of useless unless you're in this realm. You're in Gold 2, Diamond 1, or Immortal. Because up here, it's like 1 win, you're done. You don't have to play anymore. And I get it, they've earned that right to play less because they were probably grinding the whole way through. But again, I would say right now it's very top heavy. The majority of players down here in this realm kind of get the short end of the stick. Oh well. And again, they know the data better than I do. They did state that most people were here, so if most people are there, I'm just gonna say it. I think 6-0 is a little hard for these guys because they're probably not playing. They're probably playing a handful of games a week. They're not necessarily going to be up here in World Series, which is Diamond, because of the time crunch. I think they need to affect it more, and that's, to me, the best way to fix it is just level it out a little bit more. If you want to make, like, truthfully, if you want to say, give a flashback here, so at least they feel like they did something, and then the new one can be there and just rotate it. I can't be the barrier to entry here. I don't like barriers to entry, but I think if you're stating there's a leaderboard to get more stuff, I think you need to benefit that a little bit more instead of this focus on hyper fixating on 6 wins. Then again, I'm just the boy who cried wolf, apparently, to some people. So hey, by all means, take everything I just said with a grain of salt. So there's me talking off my soapbox. I try to cover everything. At the end of the day, is this thing perfect? No, it's not. I think people want to try to hide behind the fact that a lot of the stuff is free to play viable. Is it? Sure, 1000%. Do I think it needs to be a little bit more viable? Absolutely. We can make improvements to make the game better. It's just a matter of does everyone want it? And if they don't want it, there's nothing we can really do. However, I do like the game. I'm going to continue to bring the stuff up and try to do it as the best way I can, which is problem, solution. I will never try to just lay out the problem and say, there it is, you guys figure it out, because I don't think that helps the conversation. I think it's one-sided. I think it's one-handed. I think it offers nothing other than a buckshot and hope someone can answer it. Now, again, I didn't play Weekend League. I hope Weekend League went smoother because I was out of town, and I didn't want to do 6 games on Saturday. So hopefully it played better for you, and they got 3 weeks to make it better. So if you had any anything to add to this conversation, let me know down below. Subscribe if you liked it and you don't miss any more ranting. All that being said, my name is Specs, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys.